What is up, guys? The LA Gamer here, and today I am bringing you guys episode 3 of my Madden 16 Fantasy Draft franchise featuring the Los Angeles Rams. In yesterday's episode, and in the last episode, whatever you want to call it, we took on the San Francisco 49ers led by Russell Wilson, who I have to believe they had the second overall pick, and they got Russell Wilson, who was their quarterback. In today's episode, we were playing another one of our division rivals, this one being the Seattle Seahawks. Now, I don't remember exactly who their best players are, but if I remember just off the top of my head, I believe they had Matt Ryan at quarterback and Giovanni Bernard at as their running back, and that was kind of their main offensive weapons. Now, I think Matt Ryan was probably their number one overall pick, or their first overall pick, just because quarterbacks are always taken so early, and Matt Ryan's pretty good, so that was likely their first rounder. So we have two pretty good quarterbacks in this division that we've already known of. Now, we're only 2 weeks in, but we have Matt Ryan, who we're playing now in week 2, and we had Russell Wilson we played in week 1, so it's definitely something to keep in mind. I don't know who the Arizona Cardinals have, but that might be, we may just have a division of quarterbacks. Now, us having Carson Wentz isn't the most dominant quarterback in the world, but he does come out here and play pretty good today. Now, something I want to emphasize that I have been reading your guys' comments. I want to be real, like, I don't reply to every single comment, but I do read all of them. Sometimes I just don't find time to reply to them, and a lot of you guys were like really talking about how I need to start getting the ball to Gronk more. You guys were emphasizing that was my number one overall pick, and considering the fact that he is a beast, he is a mismatch on every single linebacker in the league, I really do have to take more advantage of him, and I think I completely agree with you guys. So in today's episode, I did a really good job of, or I did a lot of effort on trying to get Gronk the ball to try to make it as entertaining as possible for you guys, and I really hope you guys do enjoy. Now, I don't actually show every single play, obviously. I only show kind of the highlights. So just because Gronk may not have a ton of highlights doesn't mean he didn't get the ball a lot. You will see the stats in the game. You will see what his stats will be, and he has a pretty impressive game this game, and I believe I do get him in a few different highlights that you guys will see later on in the video. But right here, you see we're throwing it over to the right side of the field, and we're going to throw it on over. I believe that is James Jones right there, and James Jones has been a very quality pickup for us. He does a very nice job. Now, right here, for some reason, the game glitched, and it totally destroyed my camera angle, and I'm going to use that as an excuse for throwing this interception right here. You see I throw it over to Harrison Smith, I believe his name is. He's a total beast, the free safety for the Vikings. Yeah, his name's Harrison Smith. My camera angle glitched before that passing play, and I couldn't read the defense at all, and I thought I saw a guy wide open. I threw it off my back foot. In reality, that was my fault for throwing that interception. I shouldn't have thrown the ball. I probably should have just thrown it away. But that's what happens when you try to make too much out of nothing. You more often than not will end up failing miserably. But right here, you see I completely missed that hit stick, and it ends up biting me really bad, as it ended up giving like an extra 20 or 30 yards because of that. So they're moving all the way down to the 5-yard line. We're going to do whatever we can and try to stop them right here, though. It's 1st and goal, and they're getting all the way down to about an inch away from the end zone. So we're going to have to do a lot here to try to keep them from getting this touchdown. That's right here. They're going to try running the ball back up the middle, and we're going to stop them once again. This time they're about 2 yards away from the end zone. So let's see if they try to bring out anything clever. You see, it looks like they're coming out in a run set formation, so we're going to come in here, try to do whatever we can to try to stop them from getting this touchdown. And they're going back here. They're coming out on a passing play, and the field goal is good. He throws it through the uprights. I don't know why. There's just kind of a bad pass by Matt Ryan. He felt pressured up the middle, and we did a pretty nice job. We did a very good job, actually, limiting them from getting that touchdown. It didn't look very promising there. But limiting them to 3 points on that drive was something I was actually really happy about. Of course, you never want them to score, but we did a great job at the end there defensively. So right here, we're going to throw the ball over the middle to Gronkowski. He does a really nice job, especially on these cut routes. He does a very nice job because he's really fast, he's really big, and so nobody really is able to cover him. So on those big routes where he's able to cut really quickly, he does a really good job of making separation. So that's something I'm starting to realize more and more as I play more with this team. Is right here, I'm going to throw over Gronkowski again. He's just carrying the defense onto the first down. Like, there's 2 guys on his back, and he just keeps moving and moving. And Gronk is just an absolute monster, so I wasn't even that surprised about that. Once again, though, throwing it over to the left side this time to Gronk. He's once again going to get us the first down. So like I said, I did whatever I could to try to get Gronk the ball, and so far it's been pretty overpowered. He's doing a pretty phenomenal job. I'm actually looking here back on the highlights. It seems like every single play that I call, Gronk finds a way to get open. So I really need to be paying more attention to that. Right here, though, I see him over the middle once again, and that will be Gronkowski's first receiving touchdown of the season. This one being right over the middle. You see the Gronk spike. He's putting a little bit of power into that one, the first one of the season, and it definitely will not be the last one. I'm hoping to get him involved quite a bit this season. I'm hoping to set some new tight end records with him this season. So either way, we're going to continue right here. We're getting back on defense. Now, last game, I want to emphasize real quick, I want to get back into being more of a broad commentary. In the last game, we had a very high-scoring game. I believe the final score was 37-24, I think was the final score last game. It won't be a similar result this game. You can already see it's a pretty low-scoring game, 7-3, and we're already close to halftime. So it's pretty obvious that this game won't be much like last game in terms of the score. It was definitely more defensively oriented this game, which is something I don't mind. I like to get our defense involved. Now, I spent a lot of high round picks focusing on my defense, and so I was really hoping they would come out here and do an impressive job, and they do just that. You see, we get a sack here, and that's going to put them at 3rd and 18. You see they're coming back here in a passing play. They're looking over to the right side, and it looks like Matt Ryan's going to do this little drop-off pass to, I believe that is Ladarius Green. If you guys watched my last year Madden Fantasy Draft franchise, Ladarius Green was a very, very big part of that franchise. He was an absolute monster for me. Of course, now we have another beast of a tight end this year, of course, being Rob Gronkowski. But it was kind of interesting playing against the Seahawks, which was my last year's team, playing against Ladarius Green, who was my last year tight end. It was just kind of funny. There's a lot of memories that come back actually having to play this team in this second game of the season from last year's franchise. But either way, we're going to throw an absolute bomb down the left side of the field. I believe that is James Jones once again coming up with a big reception. I think it's hilarious because, to be honest with you guys, right here, Gronkowski tears it over the middle. Or actually, watch this play real quick. Adrian Peterson over the left side. Nobody is blocking him, and I had to be a little bit of a cheeky shit. You see, I'm gonna be honest, guys. That was kind of a dick move, but I'm gonna just slow down to about half a mile an hour, and I'm just gonna tiptoe my way in the end zone with Adrian Peterson. It was kind of an interesting play there. You see that HB screen? Nobody was on the left side of the field, so that was basically a free touchdown for us. But either way, we're back on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of crazy defensive plays coming up. But I want to say real quickly that it really has seemed like my main receiver is James Jones rather than Demaryius Thomas. Of course, I'm not involving Gronkowski because he's not theoretically a wide receiver. He's just a receiver. But James Jones has made a much bigger impact so far than Demaryius Thomas has. And I don't really understand the reasoning for that. Demaryius Thomas really just hasn't gotten involved. But I'm hoping to get another big name receiver, hopefully in this upcoming free agency or possibly in the upcoming rookie draft. I always like drafting new wide receivers, especially those really fast ones. They're always so crazy overpowered, and I'm hoping this year can be similar to last year, where I just draft some really, really overpowered rookie wide receivers, and I have a lot of fun with those guys, especially when they're nice and young, and if they have high development ratings, you can actually make a really nice team around some really nice receivers if you draft good ones and really kind of go overpowered with it. But right here, you see right here, I'm going to try to do too much on this HB screen. I'm going to try to throw the ball, and realistically, I should have thrown it earlier. I should have thrown it away. I should have done something, but either way, because I waited so long, Carson Wentz is going to get hit with the ball coming out of his hands, and that's going to allow them to come back downfield here and work their way all the way down to the 4-yard line. They're 4 yards away from tying it up. You see now, though, it's 3rd and goal at the 6-yard line. They're going to throw it over to Ladarius Green and move it down to the 2-yard line. They're going to be going for it on 4th down. This could determine the whole entire game, and we are going to stuff that run from Giovanni Bernard, and they are not going to get the touchdown. We are maintaining this lead. We are doing whatever we can to hold on to this lead, and that ended up being their final effort. Now, they got 2 really good efforts there late in the game to try to tie it back up. Our defense held strong. We held them to 6 points. We only were able to put up 14. It wasn't an impressive offensive performance from us, but our defense really came up big here. Our defense bent a lot, but it didn't break, and that's really what matters the most. Of course, it wasn't the best showing. We gave up a lot of yards, but we didn't allow them to score when it mattered most, and I think that's really what matters. At the end of the day, what matters is that we got the win and that we didn't allow them to score many points. I mean, 6, that's a very dominant defensive performance. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed, please click that like button below. Make sure to comment your opinion of the series and what I could do to make it more interesting in the comment section below. And lastly, subscribe if you have not already to stay tuned to this series and other series I got going on my channel. First 2 episodes have gotten so much support and so much love for you guys, and trust me, I'm paying so much attention to it, and I think it's so amazing. I really do appreciate it so much, and I never want you guys to think I'm taking any of this for granted, because I really do appreciate it so much. So I'll see you guys in the next episode, and peace out.